Hey there, Nityanandam everyone. My name is Manitya Kodandyananda, and I am an Adinavasi of the Nityananda order. I live with my guru, Paramahamsa Nityananda Swamiji, and today I wanted to talk about Kundalini awakening because, I'm looking through the YouTubes to see what are other people watching? What are other people putting on their channels? And I'm noticing a lot of people are telling their Kundalini awakening stories. And I never thought that my Kundalini awakening story was all that interesting, but apparently this is a topic that people are interested in. So, to answer the question that no one asked, what was my Kundalini awakening like? So this happened back in 2013, and I was not expecting it at all, okay? So I had just found my guru, like, not even a full year before, and various things were going on, and so I end up at one of the programs in the San Jose Adinam Temple. And I don't even remember what program it is. I think I might remember, I think I might know what it was, but I don't want to say because I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, as part of this program, we got Akashic Records readings. And at the time, Swamiji himself was doing the Akashic Records readings. He was giving Kalabhairava Darshan. Kalabhairava being, one of the main deities of the whole tradition, I guess. One of his main deities, anyway. It's a deity that he gives darshan for. And at that time, he himself was giving darshan, giving Akashic Records readings. And with the Akashic Records readings, you can ask a question or you can ask for a blessing. And the deity Kalabhairava himself responds, either finding the information in the Akashic Records or making writing it into the Akashic Records, whatever your request is. And I went up, and this was not the first time I had an Akashic Records reading like this. I think this was maybe the second time. And so when I went up, the question that I wanted, or the request that I had, was that I wanted to go to art school and be successful as an artist. Which, he gave that blessing, yes. But he also said, you will have inner awakening, referring to the program Inner Awakening that I'd been wanting to go to but was having all these difficulties, and that was not the question I asked. But, in my heart, it was the question that I asked. And he was able to read that. He was able to, read what I truly wanted in my heart, which, yes, what I truly want is to go to art school, and now what I truly want is to finish art school. But, at that time I had that same request. And actually those two requests, for Inner Awakening and for art school are still very, very closely combined in my heart for reasons I'm not even going to get into here in this video. But when he said, you will have inner awakening, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I just I felt warm, really, really warm, and really sort of electric. And I felt like there was something on my face. Okay, I kept thinking, I kept brushing my face, thinking, there's hair, hair on my face or something. It felt like there was something on my face, particularly on my forehead, except I could feel very specifically, it was larger than hairs. It was like small snakes that I felt on my face, and I keep trying to brush it away, trying to, what is this thing on my face, wiping it away, and I realized there was nothing there, and it was energy that I was feeling. Now, this program, this Akashic Records readings had nothing to do with Kundalini awakening. No one was expecting anyone to have Kundalini awakening. People were there that already had Kundalini awakening, and, were manifesting like levitation, or their bodies would, lift or move or shake from their Kundalini being active. And it happened to me too, I guess, just from this darshan, just from seeing my guru give Kalabhairava darshan, Kalabhairava deity darshan, and, this whole Akashic Records readings. And so I really didn't know what was going on. I just felt really good and really happy and really weird and really energetic. And I don't know if anyone else there knew what was going on either. At the time, there were, I believe, 2 of the Adinavasis. One of the women was a part of the Rishi order. Now she's a Swami. But, Rishis are like people that have joined the monastic order, except they're married, and, so they're not like practicing the monastic vow of celibacy because they're still married, but otherwise, are, living the life of, whatever. I'm terrible, I'm sorry. But anyway, people with experience that, have seen these things before, handled these things before, seen other people have Kundalini awakening at the ashram, at the Adinam, in Swamiji's physical presence. Here I am, having Kundalini awakening, randomly in the temple. I don't know what's going on. I don't say anything because, I don't know what's going on. And if I, and they're like, oh, if you wait an hour, you can come back and there's another program or satsang or dinner or something. I don't remember what else. And I'm like, oh, okay. But I just felt so overwhelmed with energy. Like, I felt like I was going to jump out of my skin. It was just the strangest feeling, and I just was really disoriented, actually. I mean, I was just incredibly blissful, but also incredibly overwhelmed and incredibly disoriented. And I go out to my car, and I get in my car, and I'm trying to decide, what do I do? Do I stay here? Do I go? I realize pretty quickly that I am in absolutely no condition to drive. But I also don't want to go back in the temple. And so I'm sitting in my car and I start crying. And I just want to scream. There's all these trees. I just want to climb the trees. I just have so much energy. And I just really want to jump out of my skin. Just feeling this incredible restlessness and agitation. And, still the weird feeling on my face. And so I sit in my car and I'm crying and trying to figure out, what do I do? Do I go back inside? Should I text? Let them know I'm having some issues and I'm out in my car and I'm afraid to come back in, or, what do I do? And I ended up just sitting in my car freaking out for an hour, and then I felt okay enough and I drove home. And I don't know when I even realized that I had Kundalini awakening. I think at some point in time when I was in my car and I wanted to scream and climb the trees and scream at the top of the trees, I think I probably figured that this must be Kundalini awakening that I'm having. But yeah, it was really, really incredible, and it was unlike anything I have ever experienced, and I've experienced a lot of stuff. Kundalini awakening is not in any way not at all like any sort of substance. It is a completely different experience. It is not like any sort of hallucination or, psychedelic experience. None of that. Not like that at all. It is this, very felt sensation. My experience of it anyway. A very felt sensation that I really felt in my body, and feeling the energy coming out of my third eye, feeling it so intensely that I thought it was hair or snakes that I kept trying to brush off my face. So yeah, and from there, I never manifested like the levitating or my body shaking, but when my Kundalini rises again, I just sort of like, I bolt up very straight, and my head sort of tilts back, so that my third eye is facing up. And, it's kind of hard to hold that position sometimes because it's kind of painful on the neck to have your neck like, it's like this. So, yeah, that is my Kundalini experience. If you have questions, I guess you can send them, but I don't really know if I'm good at answering your questions. There are definitely many methods of awakening Kundalini, and then once it's awakened, different things you can do to get it to rise again. There's yoga positions that do this. So yeah, there's a lot going on with Kundalini, and it is just, I don't know.